Does anybody know if Clairvoyant Strike is worth it? Hello?
Hello?
Wait, sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, it's
I said, does anybody know if Clairvoyant Strike is worth it?
I'm happy to share my knowledge with the young.
I don't even know what that is.
Farewell,
It's
young
for the
Jedi.
Consular. It's, you can spec into that ability.
It's good for, if you're like Shadow. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what does it give you?
It stacks your more damage on your project. Just a second. Just a minute here.
I'm gonna go off for a bit because I'm tired. I'll be back on tomorrow morning.
Later.
Laters.
Later.
But no, like, here's what it does. I assume it's to replace Double Strike. What it does is it's called Clairvoyant Strike. Strikes a target twice, dealing moderate amount of damage. Each use of the skill increases the damage dealt by my next project by 15%, and that can only stack up to 2 times. So obviously, you get your 2 stacks, you get 30% extra damage on your project, and then you use project. But I can't decide if I want to put that in my rotation or if I want to just straight up use Shadow Strike and where's this other skill? Spinning Strike when they get below 30%, because those deal the most damage. My project deals it deals about the same amount of damage as the Clairvoyant Strike, but I'm actually spec'd for project so that it has a 45% chance to hit twice, and then the second hit does 50% of the normal hit. So I don't know if I should try to get more damage out of my project, or what.
If you go in the forums, talks about the rotation and stuff like that, for Shadow specifically.
Yeah, but I really don't care what anybody else has to say about the rotation. I usually do my own theory crafting.
Well, so you're Shadow, right? So your
Yes.
biggest ability is your backstab crits, right? Because that thing will
Yes.
just destroy people. You
Yes.
get 2 crits off on that thing.
Yeah. And then also I
Does
have
it
a...
benefit that?
No. Well, the thing is...
Sorry, read the tooltip on it again.
Okay. What it does is project. Is like when I lift something out of the ground and project it at somebody. And what this
Oh,
skill...
okay, yeah, I
What
got
this
you.
skill does is called Clairvoyant Strike. It's not a spammable ability, but it's like my secondary ability. If I can't do the backstab, I'll use a strike. And I don't have Clairvoyant Strike, I have something called Double Strike right now, which is usually when I'm in front of an enemy. But not all enemies stand still, so I usually do get a little bit of range on them. So I do use Project a lot of the time, But this Clairvoyant Strike that I have to spec into, what it does is it stacks up to 2 times of increasing my project by 15% damage. So I get 2 stacks, and that's 30% extra damage on my project. Or the problem is, I don't know. I already have everything that I want. Like, if I'm looking at my spec, and I'm kind of hybrid spec, I have 8 points in balance in order to get that extra 50% normal damage on project, and then I have
I
3
got you.
and then I have 3 points in technique mastery, just to get some armor penetration on shadow technique. I mean, it's only 9%. I guess I could take a point away from that and only have 6% armor pen, and then get clairvoyant strikes, which is probably what I'll end up doing. I just, I don't know if it's really worth it, you know.
Right.
I don't know if that extra 3% armor penetration is gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing. I mean, I don't know how much raid bosses are gonna be moving around, is what it is. So I don't even know if I'm gonna be putting project into my rotation. I mean, I know I'll
Well,
have
it's not so much that the raid boss moves around, that he creates mechanics that force you to move around is probably the more common.
yeah. I just have to decide. I don't know. I probably will get the clairvoyant strike.
And there definitely is going to be that, because the few ones, I haven't even watched any of the current ones, but the few ones I've seen of the raids, like they had a boss where everyone had to LOS during a certain attack sequence, so everyone had to run over and LOS behind
Yeah.
one of the piers that the towers that you kill.
Okay.
Yeah, there seemed to be a lot of movement in that one.
I just, I'm kind of OCD about not when I put points into my talent tree, I don't like to have 2 out of 3 in one area. You know what I mean? That's just kind of like OCD about that. But I'm gonna have to do that, I
Yeah, I
think.
gotcha.
I think the armor pen would be good for PvP though, so depends what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah, well, I mainly did a PvP spec in this. I was trying to do something that would work for PvP and PvE. So I got the armor pen and I got the project because you're always going to have distance on people in PvP, and I figured that I would be able to use project sometimes, at least in raids. And then I also spec'd in here um, I'm gonna spec into fade instead of specking into kinetic field, which reduces AoE damage that I take. Because that's just I don't really I mean, it would be good for raiding, but it's just better to have the blackout just in case we wipe. Then I can black out and res people anyway. I don't know if you guys know what those skills do. Force Cloak is like Feign Death in World of Warcraft, where you can just stop
Yeah, I got it.
all aggro, and it'd be better for me to have spec into that anyway, I think.
I'm a little confused with
Yeah.
Force Blackout.
Okay,
Does it just make it harder for you to spot?
what it does is, yeah, it makes you harder to let's say that you're up against an enemy that's your same level and you're trying to walk past him and you get kind of close to him, or you can't get far enough away from him because there's too many mobs in between where you need to go and where you're walking. You can use blackout, and then you have to walk basically on top of that mob in order for them to spot you in stealth.
Yeah, all right.
And then also I have spec where just by using blackout I get, what is it? 6 seconds of shadow respite, restoring 10 force. Oh yeah, and then my force cloak doesn't reduce healing done or received, which is really nice. So if I'm about to die and I'm getting healed and I want to feign death or whatever, I'm not going to die because of some stupid dot, because I can't get healed enough.
Yeah, I got that too.
Oh, that's
That was
nice.
Stim. Excellent.
So,
Just in
yeah, I
time.
can put some heals on you before you die. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, after you cloak, it won't reduce the amount of heal. It's good for PvP. That's a great PvP skill.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, as long as I don't use my hammer shot on you and give away your position. Big
We
green
heard
beam
about Darth
going towards you.
Lacris. Citizens are already rising up in Sobrik. The occupation is ending. Sir, it's marvelous to see you again. My exile was too long.
Ty,
I haven't really
is
mixed
that
in
you?
project yet on my
You look
rotation.
older.
You should, because you
Using
Yes,
get...
double
sir.
strike.
I've been gone
Oh
for
yeah?
years. Is he alright?
Well, what I do is when I go up
Gosh,
to a mob, I will use project first. Or if there's an elite, then I'll stealth and then sap the elite and then kill the other guys. But I'll usually use force wave on regular mobs and then project as I get closer to them, because it knocks all of them down for a few seconds, and that just gives you, less damage that's being done on you during that time.
He's just survived a terrible ordeal.
that's a pretty good idea.
Show some respect. I'm sorry, sir. I wish we'd reached you sooner.
I cannot continue in my position. Ty, I must pass my role on to you.
Good. He can follow his script.
I don't know, I'm gonna try using it more, I guess.
Before I retire from public life, I,
It's really allowed me to
President
survive some pretty tough
Gordon,
battles.
hereby transfer all the powers of my office as president to Ty Gordon.
As citizens of Balmora, we bear witness to this decision, made of your own free will.
I accept, sir, and I will strive to be a worthy successor. Both Zenith and I made great sacrifices to bring you here. I haven't forgotten, Jedi. As my first act, I've drafted a formal request for Balmora to join the Republic.
Is there anything you'd like to say on this historic occasion, Master Jedi?
Make the most of this. I won't always be around to bail you out.
Jedi has a point.
I have a few points of business to finish aboard your ship before I leave, Jedi. And there's a matter we three need to discuss in private. Zenith, perhaps you should join us there.
Finally, I'm done with my class quest on Balmora. I can go wherever the hell I have to go next. I want to get to 40 today. That's my goal.
What level are you now?
I'm like just beginning in 38.
That should be doable.
Yeah. What level are you?
I'm only 25. I'm working my way up.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I played some beta, and that's why I took a lot of time to think about this class. So I didn't just play through it and was like, oh yeah, this is what I need to do.
I was just wondering how I might serve
No, I'm
you
just
better,
playing around
sir.
with it for now. I
I'll
just got
start
most
this
of these
task
skills recently
immediately.
anyway, so.
Yeah.
Plus, I was waiting for my computer before I could start playing, so that's why I got in late.
Yeah, I know how that is.
Yeah, there's really not a ton of options I've got on mine. Like, I really don't. I'm pretty much, there's no skills I think I'm kind of debating on. It's pretty much all pretty solid on my choices.
Well, it's healing. I mean, you know,
Heal more,
yes.
better heals,
Yeah.
bigger heals, faster heals.
Yeah. There might be, you can probably spec in for some type of defense things as well, which is always good for healers.
Well, see, that's the debate. Like, there are some that I'm not gonna go for. Like, there's where was it here? increases all healing received by 10%.